Raise your hand if you've ever bought something you didn't need, couldn't really afford, and later regret it. Now keep it raised if you've done this more than once in the past month. You're not weak-willed or financially irresponsible. You're responding to incredibly sophisticated systems designed to separate you from your money. Stay with me for the next few minutes and I promise you'll never look at a sale, an influencer recommendation, or even your own shopping habits the same way again. I'm about to break down why Americans are buying more while feeling broker than ever and give you the tools to actually build wealth instead of the appearance of it. Picture this. You're scrolling through Instagram when you spot those perfect shoes. Your finger hovers over buy now, while your bank account silently screams. What's happening in your brain? That little rush isn't just excitement, it's dopamine, the brain's reward chemical, flooding your system. And here's the trick, this hit happens before you even make the purchase. The anticipation alone triggers a surge of pleasure, forming a feedback loop that makes shopping feel addictively rewarding. Our brain evolved this system to reinforce survival behaviors, but companies have hijacked it. Today's shopping platforms are designed not just to sell products, but to tap into your biology. They've engineered experiences that override rational decision-making, replacing reflection with instant gratification. Consider platforms like Temu. The European Commission is now investigating them over interface designs that may be deliberately addictive. Features like countdown timers and only 2 left warnings aren't casual details. They're engineered pressure tactics that heighten anticipation and push users toward impulse purchases. Subscription services exploit the same psychology, tapping into our fear of loss while burying cancellations behind layers of digital friction. That extra step isn't a bug, it's a business model. The psychological high of purchasing fades fast, typically within an hour or two. Meanwhile, the financial impact can last for months. This becomes especially dangerous when you consider how common financial vulnerability has become. 40% of Americans can't cover a $400 emergency expense, despite owning more consumer goods than any previous generation. The average household now carries over $104,000 in debt, with national household debt hitting an all-time high of $18.04 trillion in 2024. Research by psychologist Roberta Bialcotti shows that people who base their self-worth on others' approval are significantly more likely to shop compulsively. It's not just about stuff, it's about validation. But that fleeting euphoria quickly fades, often replaced by guilt, shame, and another impulse to buy. It's the hallmark of an addiction cycle: diminished returns, emotional withdrawal, and repeated chasing of the high. Digital shopping, especially for those with social anxiety, can become a powerful escape. No awkward interactions, no lines, just quick hits of reward without discomfort. With saved payment methods and one-click checkouts, even the monetary pause to reconsider is gone. And that's the danger. When desire, impulse, and payment all collapse into a single click, your brain's reasoning systems never get the chance to intervene. That seamless path from desire to purchase doesn't just end with impulse. It continues with the quiet arrival of the bill. Behind America's record-breaking $1.211 trillion credit card debt mountain lies a sophisticated system that doesn't just permit overspending. It actively encourages it, transforming debt from emergency solution to lifestyle necessity. Credit card debt isn't just growing, it's exploding at an alarming rate, jumping $45 billion in a single quarter at the end of 2024. We're witnessing delinquency rates climbing to levels not seen since the 2008 financial crisis, since 8.8% of credit card balances falling 30-plus days behind. This isn't random financial misfortune. It's the predictable outcome of a system designed to keep consumers perpetually indebted. Look closely at the minimum payment option on your credit card statement. That suspiciously affordable number isn't there to help you. It's a carefully calibrated figure, ensuring you'll maintain a relationship with your credit card company for decades. By suggesting you pay just a fraction of your balance, credit card insurers transform a simple purchase into a long-term revenue stream. The math is ruthless. That suggested minimum payment on a $5,000 balance means you'll be sending checks for the next 2 decades. Jason, a 32-year-old delivery driver in Chicago, faced a $2,400 repair bill when his car broke down. his only way to earn a living. The dealership offered a buy now, pay later plan that sounded like a lifesaver. But a year later, between late fees and hidden charges, that $2,400 has quietly grown to over $3,600. What seemed like a lifeline was really a trap, designed not to help him, but to keep him paying. Jason's story isn't unusual. The debt landscape extends far beyond credit cards. Auto loan debt has hit $1.655 trillion, with the average American carrying $24,326 in car loans. These aren't your parents' car loans. Today's auto debt is reaching a 14-year high in delinquency rates. The pandemic supply chain disruptions sent vehicle prices soaring, forcing consumers to take on larger loans just to maintain basic transportation. What was once a depreciating asset has become a financial anchor. Student loans represent another $1.615 trillion slice of America's debt pie. While we often picture young graduates struggling with this burden, the reality is more complex. The heaviest educational debt isn't carried by those under 35 who have a median balance of $18,000, but by Americans aged 55 to 64, with a median debt of $41,000, nearly double what it was in 2010. Many older Americans are entering what should be their peak saving years, still paying for education they received decades ago. What makes the system particularly insidious is how it targets those least equipped to resist it. Millennials and Gen Z borrowers are experiencing the sharpest rise in delinquencies as expensive auto payments and other loans come due simultaneously. The financial industry knows exactly what it's doing. Banking internal documents categorize customers as either revolvers who carry balances and generate substantial interest income, or transactors who pay in full monthly. Guess which group banks prefer? The system thrives on financial illiteracy. When nearly 70% of Americans can't correctly calculate compound interest, they remain blind to how dramatically that $200 impulse purchase balloons when carried on a high-interest credit card. This knowledge gap isn't an accident, but a feature of a system that benefits from consumers who don't fully understand the mathematical consequences of their financial decisions. Buy now, pay later services like the one Jason used represent the latest evolution in frictionless debt acquisition. By fragmenting a $1,000 purchase into 4 seemingly manageable $250 payments, these services eliminate what economists call the pain of paying. That psychological discomfort that might otherwise prevent an unaffordable purchase. The result? Consumers make larger purchases than they would with traditional payment methods, often without recognizing they're taking on debt. Even as Americans struggle under this debt load, the system creates an illusion of prosperity. The latest model smartphones, designer clothes, and luxury vehicles create a veneer of wealth that masks financial fragility. The debt payment to income ratio hit 11.3% in late 2024, the highest since early 2020, revealing how much of our income now goes directly to servicing debt rather than building wealth. What's particularly troubling is how debt has transformed from emergency measure to lifestyle requirement. The American economic structure now virtually requires debt for major life milestones: housing, education, transportation, and increasingly everyday expenses. Even as these debts multiply, the financial industry has engineered payment structures that keep the monthly amounts just manageable enough to avoid widespread defaults while maximizing long-term interest income. Easy credit access isn't consumer empowerment. It's a carefully crafted system that transforms consumers into perpetual debtors. Every pre-approved credit offer, every instant approval, shopping cart, every no-credit check, financing option is designed not to help consumers build financial security, but to keep them making payments for years or decades to come. Beyond the debt machinery lies an even more insidious force: the comparison engine we engage with every day. While credit cards extract financial interest, social media extracts something just as valuable: our attention and self-worth. The average American now spends 2.5 hours daily scrolling through curated glimpses of other people's lives. What started as a tool for connection has become a powerful engine of consumption. Think about your last scroll. Did you feel that twinge when someone posted a gleaming kitchen remodel, or envy a tropical vacation while you're budgeting for groceries? These aren't random feelings, they're manufactured by design. Sociologist Juliet Score explains it like this: we're not just buying things, we're buying symbols of where we belong. Social comparison, she says, has always existed, but platforms like Instagram have exploded our reference points. Instead of neighbors, we now compare ourselves to influencers, celebrities, and acquaintances showcasing perfect lives. The images we see aren't real life. They are highlight reels. And the algorithms that surface luxury homes, designer bags, and exotic destinations do so because envy drives engagement. Influencer marketing blurs the lines further. It's not always obvious what's authentic and what's an ad. That honest review of a skincare brand might be a paid post. That lifestyle vlog showing off minimalism might link to affiliate furniture deals. It's why marketers now talk about aspirational purchasing. Buying not for utility, but to project an identity. The handbag that says success, the kitchen gadget that whispers refinement, the phone upgrade that signals relevance. Fast fashion thrives on this. Shein drops thousands of new styles daily. Consumers buy 400% more clothing than 20 years ago. Meanwhile, companies like H&M sat on $4.1 billion in unsold inventory in 2019. And it's not just wardrobes. Americans now replace smartphones every 2.5 years. Perfectly working phones are discarded, not because they're broken, but because newer ones reflect higher status. This rapid turnover has a cost. Fast fashion is now the second largest polluting industry behind oil. Most garment workers are underpaid women working in dangerous conditions. The environmental and human toll of our social performance economy is staggering. But perhaps the cruelest trick? Social media convinces us that our dissatisfaction is personal, that we're not enough, that we need to work harder, earn more, buy more, just to feel like we're catching up. In reality, we're comparing our behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reel, and it's not a fair fight. So what's the way out of this consumer maze we've been navigating? The answer isn't earning more money to fund more purchases. True financial freedom starts with recognizing the difference between needs and programming. Research shows that people who prioritize experiences over material possessions report significantly higher life satisfaction. Minimalism and intentional living aren't about deprivation, they're about clarity. When you own less, you stress less. Before your next purchase, pause and ask, is this something I truly need or something I've been conditioned to want? Because in a world designed to keep you spending, the most radical act is simply choosing contentment.